Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. I want to say a big thank you to miskatonicbooks.com once again for funding the show and for sponsoring this news segment every week. Miskatonicbooks.com, if you don't know them yet, they are your #1 international purveyor of esoteric and occult books, especially books that have been beautifully produced, but also books that are very difficult to find, books that have been out of print for a long time, books with some really rare esoteric knowledge within. And yeah, if there's a book, for example, that has been out of print for a long time, even if they don't have it, it's likely that they've got a page for it, and you'll be able to sign up to receive an email as soon as that book comes back in stock. They sell second-hand books. They search the web for the best deals and for simply books that have been out of print for a very long time. Or not for so long, but anyway, that are out of print. And so then, yep, they get them so that you can get them in turn, right? So yeah, go and visit www.miskatonicbooks.com for some very cool esoteric and occult books. Some new books, some books that have been printed abroad. If you live in the US, then it's definitely your cheapest way to get books that have been printed abroad. Yeah, occasionally they share a review of mine. This particular book was actually published by Azoth Press, which is an imprint of Miskatonic Books and distributed exclusively through Miskatonic Books. So yes, go and visit their website. Fantastic stuff over there. All right, folks, the big news this week is that Semesilam's Kickstarter has launched. So now is definitely the time, if you haven't done so already, to go and check out the Kickstarter page. Right here you can see that we're about 3/4 of the way to being fully funded. 326 backers, which is already fantastic, right? But yeah, none of this actually matters if we don't hit the $111 US level here. That's been translated from Canadian dollars, which the original goal is in, right? They're looking for 150,000 Canadian dollars. Just to make the process worthwhile, right? The cost of making books of this high standard, of this kind of quality, is very high. And so in order to make it manageable, in order to break even, this is the money, this is the minimum, right? So if you have already put in your pledge, then that's fantastic. If you haven't, then now's definitely the time to do so. All you need to do is just scroll down here to see the different reward levels available, right? So this is the paperback edition of Iao, which is going to be printed with the same standards as the standards of the paperback edition of Aurora. So if you've seen my review of that paperback edition, you'll know that this paperback edition is definitely of a higher standard of quality than most hardcover books that are printed nowadays. This is just an absolutely delightful production, right? And then of course there's the level with the Semesilam, the Eternal Sun, which is a retrospective of José Gabriel Alegría Sabogal's artwork. Let me bring up some of his artwork on the screen here, and I'll be 100% honest, I'm surprised that we don't get more of it earlier in the text here. We get some pictures of Jose himself, and then more and more text and so on and so forth. In a very visual culture, I'm surprised that we don't get to these books a little bit sooner, but let me show these to you because they're just so lovely. And this is a picture of the artisanal edition. So the artisanal edition comes a little bit lower down here. There's a pledge here to get both the standard edition of Semesilam and Iao paperback over here. You get all kinds of lovely extras, right? And then there's a pledge with where you get a couple of pins And here is the artisanal edition, and I admit that this is the level that I've backed, right? I know it says back this project on the screen. I guess I haven't signed in, but yes, this is actually the level that I've backed, and I just cannot wait to receive my copy. If you've seen my review, or should I say my unboxing of the Iao artisanal edition, you'll know that there's nothing on the market of quite this standard. It's just exceptional stuff. So yes, I'm happy to pay this amount of money. I've been saving up for it since November, just because I know that this is going to be like the big event of this year 2024, right? That's the way I see it. And so yeah, if we just scroll down here a little bit more, we'll get a further idea of what to expect inside the Semesilam book. So yes, some artwork that has been printed previously, or should I say published previously, but is completely out of print, right? It's impossible to find these works of art nowadays. And so and here's a look at the prototype of the EL paperback edition, for those of you who may have missed out on the original EL hardcover that came out a couple of years ago, or some of you who would like to complete your collection, right? Those of you who maybe have one or two of the hardcover edition and would like this beautiful paperback edition, just for completion, for how beautiful it's going to be. You get an idea also of the book specifications over here, which is quite cool. Anyway, lots and lots to discover. And then there's the stretch goal, and the stretch goal really just blew my mind, folks. If we get to so there are add-ons as well, right? I think I've talked about this in the past. The artwork of Jose Gabriel Alegría Sabogal as prints, as high quality prints. I've actually got this Leviathan and this Hermes prints, both of these at home, and I can vouch for the high quality of these prints, right? I can vouch for just how thick and lush and textured the paper is, and how just what a sensory experience it is just to be near it. I've framed mine there. They're in my bedroom. They look very, very cool, and yeah, you can add these to your pledge. Okay, and then there's this slip case, which is for the moment a locked stretch goal, and it's a slip case for people who have both Iao and Semesilam as a standard hardcover. And I'm just scrolling a little bit too fast past these beautiful prints. They're just so gorgeous. Anyway, yeah, this is what the slipcase to house both the books together is going to look like. So this is going to happen when they reach 150,000 Canadian dollars. So that's actually not even the total amount. I guess it'll become like an option to add to your what do you call them, to your pledges, right? But anyway, I just wanted to give you a closer look at those. Come on, where are they? Yeah, at that slipcase, which is that stretch goal at 130,000 Canadian dollars, and I think that it looks really cool. You can actually see that it's illustrated on the inside and textured on the outside. I think that's going to be a very cool stretch goal. There we go. Anyway, I can only share how excited I am about this, and I really hope. It's only been going for 3 days now, and yes, we're already at three quarters of the total, but that last quarter is mostly going to be people who aren't following Anathema Publishing very closely, and so yeah, it might be worth, for those of you who are really hoping, like me, who are really hoping to see this happen, it might be worth talking about this and sharing this, so that we can actually get past this minimum goal and actually see this project be realized. I was going to say that would be cool, but I'm going to say that will be very cool. I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen. Okay, all right. Let's move on to news from Glitch Bottle, folks. What better time to talk about this than right now? This has just landed on the Glitch Bottle Patreon page, right? So this will become public a little bit later. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a couple of weeks, could be a little bit longer than that. But I had a lovely chat with Alex Eth of the Glitch Bottle podcast. Those of you who follow my channel quite closely, you'll know what high regard I hold the Glitch Bottle podcast in. Alex has been preparing this interview since October. This gives you an idea of how much research he's been putting into this. At least I've known about his preparation since October. Alex is one of these people who asks his guests the right questions. He does a lot of research to find out what is the best question that I can ask this particular guest, which will really showcase what this guest is good at and what this guest cares about, and that'll get an interesting response. And this is what I've always so respected in Alex's work, and to be to have the privilege of being invited on his podcast is just the greatest privilege in the world for me. This landed literally a few minutes before I started recording, so I haven't listened to the whole thing. I've listened to the first 20 minutes, and yeah, he's just made me sound like I know what I'm talking about, which is so so wonderful. And I just have to tip my hat to Alex's work. It's extraordinary. Anyway, if you're not yet a patron of the Glitch Bottle podcast, come and join us. It's really, like, there are many podcasts out there. Many of them deserve your attention, but for me, this is number one. This is like the cream of the crop. It really is the very, very best, and such an amazing resource for self-taught magicians looking for what it's like to be a magician, right? To be a magic practitioner, listening to magic practitioners who've been magic practitioners for a little bit longer, right? And listening to their way of talking about their magic, their way of thinking about their magic, and so on and so forth. Oh, it's so good. I've discovered most of the magicians that I hold in high regard. I discovered through the Glitch Bottle podcast. There we go. That's all I'm going to say. Go and check it out. Do become a member on Patreon. Those of you who may be struggling financially, that's completely understandable as well. So just wait a few more weeks, and this will become public naturally. But yes, there we go. I'll just leave it there. Fantastic stuff, and it was great fun. A really enjoyable couple of hours that I spent with Alex there. Okay, let's move on to news from Troy Books. So Daniel Harms has just announced a new book, A Complete System of Magic, it's called. The Manual of a 19th Century British Cunning Man, William Dawson Bellhouse. So edited and introduced by Daniel Harms. And yeah, I'm always excited by anything that Daniel Harms does. And seeing this being produced by Troy Books, we already know that it's going to be of high quality production that's going to be affordable, right? £35 for the special edition. This is it's currently on pre-order, as you can see right here, with a signed book plate. Yeah, I'll leave links down below, as with everything else that you're going to see today. This is yeah, it's exciting stuff. I always like to see new, or should I say less well-known grimoires getting a little bit of airtime, and who better to bring this one to light than Daniel Harms, right? Yeah, just massive fan. Okay, let's move on to the Tate Shop. that has released this new book by Ithel Colquhoun's Diagrams of Love, and it's a classic book, right? And it's being published. This is a thing that's really blowing my mind, is that it's being published by the Tate, right? So the Tate Galleries in England are a group of art galleries that I absolutely love. So I don't like the Tate Modern, right? I know is the one that everyone goes to. For me, Tate Britain is probably the best art gallery in the whole of Britain. I absolutely love Tate Britain. It's got mostly 19th and very early 20th centuries, so up to 1914 essentially, right? And it's just great. It's just really, really cool. And to see Tate, the Tate Group publishing a book like this by Ithel Colquhoun is just really exciting. It's just really very, very cool. So yeah, I'll probably stop scrolling through there, but this is the blurb, and I'll let you read that in your own time. And of course, as always, I'll leave a link down below. You can see the delivery times over here, so you can order directly from the Tate shop, which is awesome. Okay. Right, quite a few books over here on the big bookseller, right? Hellenic Tantra, the Theurgic Platonism of Iamblichus is the second, or should I say the follow-up. I was just checking to see if I had the first one over here, by Gregory Shaw. You may recognize, oh, come on, are you down here? How is the first one not like the first thing that you get to see on this page? Yeah, this is the one that you may recognize, right? Theurgy and the Soul, the Neoplatonism of Iamblichus, which was very, very well received last year. This is a new one that came out just a couple of weeks ago, and it really caught my attention. Check this out. The Theurgic Platonists in the school of Iamblichus did not ascend out of their bodies to be united with the gods, as is the common belief, but allowed the gods to descend into their bodies. That's a different take, isn't it? By comparing embodied deification in theurgy to tantric traditions of embodied deification, Gregory Shaw allows us to understand the power and charisma of the last Platonic teachers. Hellenic Tantra reveals a living Platonism that has been hidden from us. So I received the book just yesterday. I'm just looking around. So many. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Boom. Just to show you that I'm not lying. I received the book yesterday, and I'm looking forward to digging into it. I'm surrounded with piles of books, folks. You saw my video where I was talking about, like 2 months ago, where I was talking about the 10 books that I was taking with me to this temporary location while I was getting my flat renovated. Well, yeah, that has been multiplied by about 10. What I can see around me. It goes fast, what can I say? But yes, this one looks really exciting, and I got this one with my own money. I got quite a few with my own money. Yeah, just because I'm so excited about it. There we go. What else do we have? We've got Conjuring the Calabash, Empowering Women with Hoodoo Spells and Magic. So this is available as a paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. So this one was pointed out to me by Merrily. Thank you so much, Merrily, for showing me this one on the Foolish Fish Discord. This book is about black girl magic, queer girl magic, straight girl magic, trans magic, bisexual magic. It's all about giving yourself the power to be fierce. Black women are hierophants, magicians, empresses, and high priestesses. Authentic and unapologetic, this guide to magical spirituality empowers you to take back the power to heal and shine under your own strength. Written by an accomplished hoodoo practitioner, Conjuring the Calabash features spells, recipes, and rituals that help you rise out of the constrictions around you. There we go. I think that, yeah, it's... that sounds really exciting, right? It's been out just a few months, right? November 8th, 2023 is when it came out. I think that anyone interested in the hoodoo tradition is no doubt going to be very excited about this one. It's not impossible that you've already got it. All right, let's move on to The Secrets of Greek Mysticism, a modern guide to daily practice with the Greek gods and goddesses. So here we have, this is not out yet, April 8th, so there's a couple more weeks to wait. This is actually a practitioner of Greek paganism, giving us insight into his own practice. So a clear introduction into the spirituality, beliefs, rituals, and gods and goddesses of the Greek pantheon from a modern practitioner. There we are. It's the first spiritual book about the Greek gods and goddesses written by a native practicing priest of Hellenic polytheism. It goes beyond the simplistic and archetypal representation of the Greek pantheon and instead introduces the gods and goddesses from a theological perspective. It teaches readers how to find each god or goddess within them. It's achieved through grounding insights on the gods' virtues as they relate to modern life. That's kind of important as well, isn't it? As they relate to modern life. Explaining the deeper spiritual meaning of popular myths, practicing guided meditations, activating the gods' energies with mantras and hymns, and performing simple rituals. That all sounds accessible and really very cool. All right, I'll let you explore that in your own time as well. Links down below as always. All the Amazon links that I leave down below are associate links, so I get a little bonus at the end of the month if you use them. Right, it doesn't change the price for you guys, but in fact, anything that you buy, if you arrive on Amazon's website through one of my associate links, it doesn't really matter what you buy there. I'll get a little like a little commission for everything that's in your basket if you hit the buy button, right? If you actually go through to actually buying, if you started the session through one of my links. So yeah, just a little insight on how that works, and I really appreciate so many people seem to be using those links. It really helps to I can't remember what the expression is, but anyway, it certainly helps the ends of the month. It really makes a big difference to me and my family. So thank you very much to everyone who does that. Okay, the next one is Waking Up the Dark: The Black Madonna's Gospel for an Age of Extinction and Collapse. So this came out in September in 2022. I had no idea that this has been out for so long. It's a follow-up to this one, The Way of the Rose, which arrived this morning. So yet another book added to my pile, but I've actually been listening to the audio book of this one, The Way of the Rose, The Radical Path of the Divine Feminine Hidden in the Rosary. I can't tell you folks how much I'm enjoying this. I'll be doing a review shortly, no doubt, but if you haven't heard of this and you're interested in the Divine Feminine at all, and the idea of the Rosary is a little bit worrying to you because of the whole Catholic thing, this is written by two non-Catholics, essentially. Two non-Catholics who nevertheless took on the ideas of the Rosary and explained the history of the Rosary and what the Rosary probably was before the Catholic, let's say, tradition took it on and made it into a particular thing, right? Very cool stuff. So this Waking Up to the Dark is really from the perspective of just healing our world in a time of climate change, right? In a time of extreme climate issues. And yeah, I'm going to let you guys read this this little blurb on your own. Just the concept, the idea of a return to not hating the darkness, but actually embracing the darkness as a natural part of the whole, is so central to so much magic. I think that it's an important book. There we go. I guess that's all I can really say about that. There don't seem to be any hard covers available, just the paperback, the Kindle, and the audiobook, both as a CD and from Audible. There we are. Next we've got, so this is Shahnameh. I'm afraid I don't remember who pointed this one out to me, but I'm so grateful that they did. I'm pretty sure that it was someone on the Foolish Fish Patreon. Thank you so much to you, whoever it was. This is a little bit it's a little bit expensive for me right now, but it's gone straight into my my wish list, and I've got a birthday coming up quite soon, so fingers crossed. The Epic of the Persian Kings illustrated hardcover. So vividly translated, lushly illustrated, this edition of the Persian epic Shahnameh is fully illuminated for new audiences. It's a classic poem, part myth, part history, beginning with the legend of the birth of the Persian nation and its tumultuous history. It contains magical birds, superhuman heroes, and centuries-long battles. Written over 1,000 years ago, it was meant to protect Persian collective memory amidst a turbulent sea of cultural storms. Originally written in couplets, the translation and adaptation by Ahmad Sadri retells the mythological tales in prose format. Look at these illustrations, folks. Are we gonna manage to, yes, there we go. That looks like a very nice edition to me. Let me just show you the next one. Lovely, right? There we go, and it's got a slipcase. It looks like a really beautiful edition of that book. There we go. Good stuff. Again, links down below. What else do I have for you folks? I've got this Tarot Obscuro, tarot from the depths of the universe. I look very carefully and very, as I say, very carefully. This is not AI. This the artist goes into quite a lot of detail talking about their process. There's obviously there's a bit of collage going on. There's there is some digital imagery, as in some digital using Photoshop, but it's not artificial intelligence generated images. These are images that have been carefully put together by a human being, and that means a lot in this day and age. So yeah, very beautiful stuff, and that's on Kickstarter. So yes, if you're heading over to Kickstarter to see that Semesilam book from Anathema Publishing, then yeah, why don't you swing by this Tarot Obscuro as well and check out what that's all about as well. It looks very beautiful, right? Looks very nice. Okay, what else do we have? I think it was Daniel Harms who showcased this one on Facebook this morning, the King in Yellow RPG tarot deck. So this is as a pre-order at the moment. Yeah, it's a full tarot deck. Wait a minute, there were lots of different pictures when I saw it this morning. What's going on? No idea. How weird. Anyway, yeah, looking very beautiful, very grim. The King in Yellow, one of the inspirations for H.P. Lovecraft's work. and I forget I forget the name. Well, it's not M.R. James, is it? I always forget the name of the author. So weird. Anyway, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but yes, you'll find that information on your own. It's a very beautiful deck. I kind of wish that I could show you more of the cards. Yep, that's that's where I'll leave that information. That's a bit of a shame. All right, never mind. I'll leave links to that down below. I do recommend going to check it out. It's a very, very cool looking deck. News from Credo Quia Absurdum, so the creators of the Terra Volatile Tarot. They've got a bunch of new designs in their web shop, new T-shirts and bags, and of course the pocket edition of their book, but also this I believe is yes, and the collector's edition. It's coming soon. Yeah, you can see it up here. Coming soon. And yeah, really hoping to see that sooner than later. Very, very exciting stuff. They actually reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to write a foreword to their pocket edition book, and of course I'm very, very flattered, and I've said that I'll do my best, and I keep forgetting, but I will get round to it. I haven't forgotten, I promise. Okay, and then we've got news from Treadwell's books in London. Of course, they regularly do courses and classes at Treadwell's in London, but also online, and we're getting to see a few of their latest offerings. So some of them are done already, right? This is Monday, 4th of March. That's been and gone. Awakening the Vulva, 4-week Seder course. That's also started, but the remaining courses are still there. I'm guessing that if you wanted access to this, you could reach out to them and ask them if you could have simply a recording of the first session. That wouldn't be a difficult thing to do, I'm sure. Learn to read the tarot, major cards, a 4-week course. Old Witch Ways, finding treasure. So many of these have been and gone already. Pagan Phoenix, there we go. This one's actually on Saturday, so some of you may have a chance to see that. That's an online event. This is actually in-person tour. Icelandic Folk Magic book launch and party. I'm guessing that's in person as well. In-person tour, online. There we go. Role-playing the occult imagination. A 2-session workshop. Put your D&D skills to occult use. All right, for any RPG players out there. And then the tarot readings. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. They do put out this this newsletter very, very close to the time when the classes are about to happen. So, but there are still, nevertheless, a good few there that you can check out, especially those in-person ones. And then there's this that I spotted. Sky Press have just released this Foundations of Sowa Rigpa, a guide to the root tantra of Tibetan medicine. So this is all about healing, right? There's so it's a print book. It's a paperback, 660 pages in full color. Okay, but it's also a course, an e-course, so where you get the digital book, and it includes Foundations of Sowa Rigpa, downloadable PDF, which we just saw, the individual files for self-study, labeled and unlabeled trees of the root tantra, typology chart, typology tree for coloring, root tantra in Tibetan with English translation, root tantra reading transmission with Dr. Nida, 120 Sowa Rigpa Materia Medica and 24 essential herbal formulas, daily meditation practices for Sowa Rigpa students, and medicine Buddha mantra audio files. Lots and lots of stuff there that you're getting for just $35. That's quite impressive, actually. All right, I do recommend going to check out what it's all about. If you're interested in a spiritual practice focused on healing, then and the concept of Buddhism is, you know, attractive to you, especially Tibetan Buddhism, right, Tantric Buddhism, then yeah, I think that this is going to be very exciting for many people. Terrific stuff. All right, and then finally my board game of the week. How could it not be the Royal Game, which occasionally gets a print, right? Gets some kind of edition, and this is a brand new edition which is being kickstarted with a double side, so two sides, and one side is very much the traditional and the other side, the flip side that we can actually see on the picture here, is like a modernized version for a little bit more replayability and a little bit more strategy, just to bring a little bit extra spice to the game, right? Which is very cool as well, that you can just do either, that you can play this modern version with quite beautiful pieces from what we can see here, right? Or the standard version, which I'm sure we're going to see at some point. If we scroll down, there we go. This is the standard version, and there's a board for that as well, which is really cool, right? I'm sure you agree, and yeah, quite affordable as well, actually. I guess this launched a couple of days ago, so if you're a Foolish Fish member watching on the Thursday when I release this, then you probably still got a chance to get the early bird version. Yeah, the base pledge is just €2 more, so that's yeah, probably not the end of the world, right? And then you can get the regular one, or you can get like the deluxe one, which where you get both the stones and also these little prints, these little 3D prints of looks like a wolf, I guess. Yeah, really nice stuff. There we go, folks. That's what I've got for you this week. Thank you ever so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for just you know, spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. Don't forget that you can also have a one-to-one conversation with me if you'd like to have just a 1 hour chat where we talk about you for a little bit, you know, and I can give you some recommendations, and I can read your tarot if you wish, and we can look into what would be ideal for you. There we are. Yeah, of course, if you'd like to support the channel in a very direct way, then there's my Patreon. I hope you have a lovely end of week. I hope you enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves, and see you soon. Bye-bye.